Hey everyone, Shane here. Let me tell you about my show coming up on November 24th, Saturday night over at Pops. We're calling it Riffs for Gifts. Me and my friend Lexi Schlimmer put this show together for benefiting Toys for Tots, and we invited all along our friends. Outrun the Fall, The Poor, Steeples, Monk and the People, The Matching Shoe, and Silent Hollow, all performing live that evening on Saturday the 24th. Along with that, we'll have some silent auction stuff. We'll have there's rumors that Santa Claus might even be there, so I'm very excited about that. And a whole lot more other things coming up. So get involved with the show. You can find more details at popsrocks.com. And come on out. It's a $10 donation at the door or $5 with a toy donation. So again, all this benefiting Toys for Tots, and it's going to be a great time. So come on out Saturday, November 24th, Pops, Sauget, Illinois. Thanks, everyone.
Hi, this is Lexi
and Sid
of Hess Van Schlimmer Metalworks and Art, home of the Schlimmer Metal Wolves. We are a small but furious family-run welding, fabrication, and metalworks shop with CNC capabilities and now full-scale powder coating operation. We bring unique, affordable quality art to life within the realm of practicality. Whether it's signs, sculptures, railings, shelves, furniture, or even just powder coat for your rims or your patio set, give us a look. Check us out on Facebook or Instagram or call 618-670-5724. We are Hess Van Schlimmer Metalworks. That was terrible.
We tried.
Hey everybody, Shane here. I want to tell you about my friends at Naked Vine, located at 1624 Clarkson Road in Chesterfield, Missouri, serving up all your favorite wine, whiskey, and local craft beers. Stop by and visit them Wednesday, November 7th for Hunter Hamilton Group. Thursday, November 8th, Phil and Carson from the Scandaleros. Friday, November 9th, Baja. And Saturday, November 10th, Nick Detmeyer and the Sawdusters. And then I will be there on Tuesday, November 13th with my singer-songwriter storytelling showcase at 7 o'clock with Nick Gussman, Maddie Shell, and Sean Kimball. Again, get involved with them on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Stop by and see for yourself why it's being called the best city bar in the county. So check it out, nakedvine.net. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy the show.
A podcast is kind of like it's like a radio show that's not on the radio. It's on the internet. Does that make sense? Uh-huh. Yeah. That's also like my mom. It makes it sound more confusing, doesn't it? It sounds like this.
Hey, this is Let's Not, and you're listening to Rock Paper Podcast.
Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast, y'all.
Oh, yeah. Hey, everybody. Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast, coming to you from St. Louis, Missouri. Hanging out tonight with Let's Not. Welcome to the show, everybody.
Thanks, buddy.
This is exciting. I'm excited to be here talking about some more new St. Louis music in this town. So I guess before we get going too far, you all want to introduce yourselves for everybody listening?
I'm Bob McMahon. I play drums for Let's Not.
I'm Jeremy Essick. I play guitar.
I'm Michaela Kuba. I play bass.
And we're missing Ann, right?
Well, Bob has taken Ann's place.
Oh, that's right.
Ann got very busy with the fade.
Yeah.
And luckily, Bob played some on the first album. He played some guitar and did some singing. And so I've been very lucky. I think, I'll say we. Michaela and I have been very lucky that Bob was available.
I got very not busy with my other projects.
Which is another band I'm in with Bob.
That's called me trying to avoid that situation.
So I guess everything, all the new recordings, it's just all Bob then on the...
It's all Bob. Michaela and I don't even play on
that.
Right.
It's all Bob all the time.
Yeah.
I taught him how to play bass, and so... No. That's a lie. He's been playing bass longer than I have anyway.
I don't know about that.
Yes, it'll be the three of us with some special guests, because I like doing that. But
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, big shout out to the Fade and Ann. That new record is great.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, I
It's
like
worth
it a lot.
betraying this band.
I always, whenever there's like that lineup change though, like I always go back to that scene in Anchorman when Brick, when they're doing the news and Brick's like, "You're not Ron," and that just always comes to my mind. I'm not, so.
I think I made a advertisement for a show where I took one of the photos from the photo shoot we did, and I just found a picture of Bob and put his head over Ann's body.
That's actual. Well, that was so I had lunch with Ann yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and we were talking about various things, and for the release show at Off Broadway, she was like, "Yeah, I saw they put the old picture up," and I was like, "Yeah, whatever. We haven't really had a photo shoot with Bob yet." And she goes, "Well, I saw Michaela did a thing. Why don't you just use that picture?"
So that was what happened. I did the same thing for Other People. I would take old photos, and so AJ Lane used to be the bassist for Other People, which is the other band I'm in with Bob. And so I just took old photos and put my picture on top of AJ, but like just the head, like it was still his body.
Yeah.
And people would be like, "Oh, I didn't know you already did a photo shoot with him." I'm like, that doesn't look like me.
Too good at Photoshop.
Yeah, you're just too good at Photoshop.
I did it in like 5 minutes.
I recently did that with a picture with Scott. Scott James.
Yeah.
I forgot to take a picture with him on the podcast, so I said, "Do you have a picture with you with somebody?" And I'll just put my face on that. And he sent me a picture with him and his wife.
Intimate
So
photos.
yeah, it was pretty
You've been
cool.
hitting the gym?
Yeah, I mean, I look good in a nice black dress. I tell you that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I bet.
I would imagine so.
But anyway, we got like I said, we got Let's Not here, and this is our first time getting to hang out, especially as this project. But Jeremy and Bob have been on the show before, and but this is my first time meeting Michaela, so I'm excited to talk about this project. And I guess this is fairly new, right? I mean, I guess we had the EP previously.
Well, so the first album came out in April. Yeah. We technically did our first show back in August of last year, and then that came out in April, and then Anne kind of let me know that she was going to leave, and so I just kind of stopped writing for a little bit, and then I went on tour doing comedy a whole bunch, and that's when I write because I get bored in hotel rooms. And yeah, even this was supposed to be an EP. That's what we had discussed, and then I started.
Got bored for too long.
Yeah, then I got bored for too long, and it became an album. So yeah, but I mean, in general, it's relatively new. Yeah.
So yeah, we so I guess just celebrated a year in August. You said that's according to first.
Yeah, I mean, however you break that down. Yeah, I suppose. I mean, the first album I started writing in January, like a year ago. So, but yeah, this year-ish.
Right, and this was just started as a new project. You just want something different than what you were doing previously in music and stuff.
Yeah, I don't even know different. I started writing songs that felt too. I mean, they felt too personal to. Because at that point, the only other band I was in was Shark Dad, and they just felt too personal to have Jason sing them. That's not that Jason couldn't physically sing them, it's just that I would be uncomfortable with him singing them, so that's kind of the impetus where it started, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we have that one out, but we do have a bunch of new material on the way. Like I said, this turned into a full album now?
Yep. The EP is, or an EP or single, whatever you want to call it. It's 4 tracks. That'll come out in November 16th, and then the album itself will come out in January.
Okay. Yeah. But we do have a big party coming up. Like I said, the November 16th will be the single release for Sidewhip, and that'll be at Off Broadway with the Defeated County and Mammoth Piano.
Yep.
I'm guessing you guys had a hand in picking those bands, good friends of yours?
Yeah, well, I did I'm also in the defeated county,
Yeah.
so...
Because the St. Louis music scene is incestuous.
Yes, very. That's a term I used in an interview I did the other day.
Excellent. I mean, that's what it is.
And I
It's
mean,
like,
even...
it's if you draw out the family tree of St. Louis music, it's just a bunch of loops.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I mean, if to really break it down, Bob has played with the defeated county
That's
before,
true, yeah.
and Michaela is in Shark Dad now as well.
Yeah.
So
Oedipus, eat your heart out.
yeah, so and then Mammoth Piano, one of their members has done like live video stuff for us. So yeah, it's just. I mean, I had a hand in it in the sense I was like, well, who else do I know? You know what I mean? Like,
I've noticed that, like, doing this show long enough now, you realize that a lot of players have, like, 4 or 5 bands going.
Yep.
Like, I mean, some play a lot and some play once a year, twice, whatever, something, you know, so it's like, but, yeah, definitely a lot of people in a lot of different bands, and they all kind of intermingle like that, so it's fun, though. Like I said, like, it's kind of, you don't have to reach too far to find somebody, you know, support for these shows and stuff like that when you're already in another band and stuff and like that. So
yeah. Well, I mean, we even had a night where, because Bob is playing bass in Matt Bassler's band, where because we had 2 shows really back to back, they were basically down here rehearsing for an hour or 2, and then the second they finished, it was like, all right, Bob, put down your bass, get behind the drums now we're going to practice. So, yeah.
yeah.
And then do we open for Aquitaine, or was it the other way around?
I think
Month or
Let's
two
Not
back?
played after Aquitaine.
Yeah,
that's what
it was,
Aquitaine
yeah.
all wanted
Yeah.
to get done right.
Yeah, I mean, it's become a thing where the one band show, like, where any one of us just has to play once on a night is, like, rare.
Yeah, right.
Like, it's usually one of us is like, all right, well, I'm going to put that thing down and pick up another thing
Yeah.
now.
And then, like, I met Bob because we were playing with Stray Dog Theater and the Pit Orchestra together. And we played several shows that way, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of, like I'm saying, it is kind of tricky sometimes trying to keep it all together, trying to figure it all out, but it's fun. Like I said, I've been having a great time getting into learn all these different projects and stuff that people are part of.
Sure.
We said Sidewhip is the single. Let's drop that one in here. This.
substitute for life. There is no end. Believe while you can. Don't wrap your heart round it. Sidewhip's always in spins. Why you sputtering? Why you sputtering? Why you sputtering? Why you sputtering? Why you sputtering?
Editor on this one?
It was written at a house in Huntsville, Alabama.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was on tour doing comedy, and they put me up. They put literally me, not anyone else on the show, just me up in this insanely nice house in Huntsville, like in the suburbs, and it had a room that was all windows, and it overlooked this like forest. It was beautiful. And so I would just do my shows and then go back and just sit in that room and play guitar for like 3 hours. So that's the backstory to this song.
I do want to know, like, where do you come up with the idea of a side whip? Or is this like something I've never heard of?
It's a word that I made up.
Yeah.
I know what it means. I'm not going to say what it means, but it represents a certain thing, and I think you can figure out what that thing is if you're a lyric person. Like, the one thing I've been
just
trying...
tell me I've not been paying enough attention.
Yeah, I mean, basically you...
It's his favorite sex move.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's being so...
Exactly. I mean, exactly. No, it's... the one thing I will say with this, and I know the other song you're going to play is from the last album, is... lyrically, I tried to write a lot less for this album in allusion and allegory. I tried to write more direct, like, stuff, which is, I think, harder. You know, it's easier to go, well, I'm trying to write about this, so let me make it super flowery, because there's a protection zone to that. You know what I mean? There's a thing where you go like, well, it means whatever it means to you. And I mean, I realize I just did that with that word. But the word fit rhythmically, and it represented a concept that there is not a word for. But I think lyrically, the rest of the song, you can figure out what that word is alluding to. Mm-hmm. And if you can't, it's whatever it means to.
Sure. This is going to be the new You're So Vain.
And exactly. And I'm screaming anyways. So the vocals for this were recorded literally as I stepped off a plane and hadn't slept all night and drank too much wine. So.
So that's the answer for why you're sputtering.
Yeah, exactly.
So this was you guys did all the recording right here?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
Listless sound.
Listless sound.
Very cool. Yeah,
Home of Ludo.
For 1 week.
For 1 week.
Yeah, that I thought that was you said that when I walked in. That's not a lot of people can say that, especially in the last 10 years.
Yeah, I've just known I've known Tim for a while, Tim Convey, and he was a guest on our podcast. And then after we got done with the podcast, he was like, "Do you ever rent this out?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll rent it out." And I mean, you know, I've had other bands in here for hourly stuff, but I've never done anyone for a full week. And yeah, they've been down here since Monday, getting ready for their pageant show. So we're surrounded by their equipment. Technically my equipment. But the equipment you'll see at the pageant.
Right. Is that, have you only been recording? I forget if I know, I think we talked a little bit about it, because I think we did a podcast down here with Shark Dad.
Yep.
But have you...
oh, yes, the Ned Beatty episode.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That was a good one.
Was it? Really, in retrospect? That was my fault, also. But I'm sorry. What were you asking?
Have you? So Let's Not recorded down here, and then is Shark Dad also recorded down here?
The Shark Dad album was recorded down here. The new Defeated County single and the upcoming Defeated County album, the Please Please Me from Brooklyn, have been down here. I've had a band from Austin. I've had a band from New Mexico. So yeah, I've had a couple different projects down here.
Keep them busy.
Yeah, I don't sleep, man.
Is all that? What's the trick? Is it coffee or?
If I don't work, I either drink or get depressed. So
I was gonna say existential self-loathing.
Yep, thank you. Yeah. That's a better definition. Yeah,
you're welcome. Here's my word vomit.
Yeah, thank you. No, that was perfect. That vomit was very projectile.
That's what I aim for. I aim to please. Literally, I aim to please.
Existential sidewhip.
What are the chances I get a text from you later tonight that says, "Yeah, but no, seriously, what is that?"
Maybe after like a couple days, I'm gonna take a crack at it.
Okay.
It depends on whether or not we can actually understand what you're yelling into the mic.
I think I was very clear on that. No, I would say this was mixed in about 2 hours because we had to get it out for certain reasons. I've since fixed, like the version you'll hear on this is the fixed version, but there is a version out there that I mixed very quickly, and Bob and Lang and Newbacher from the Fayette County were in the mixing room with me, and actually you were as well, because we fixed some of the bass stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, and probably, I know Langan was very insistent on putting my vocals a lot more out front than they were on the last album,
Good.
So I think you will understand it.
Great.
I just imagine Bob's like listened to it about 30 times on, and then... Jeremy, I can't figure it out. Like, what is it?
If that's the case, then I owe Bob money because I would feel really bad for him if he listened to it. I'd feel bad for anyone who listened to it.
That'd be like a payoff. Like you're too dumb to be in the band.
Are we finally breaking out the TR8?
Yeah, we can break out the TR8.
Were you introing the song like 15 minutes ago?
I assume you would have put it in there
Yeah.
already somewhere.
We're really building it up.
Yeah.
Just hype.
Yeah.
That's also Bob singing background vocals on it. Why did you make that noise? You did a really good job.
I was like, oh yeah, I remember that.
Well, we said we had another one too we wanted to share, and this was off the previous record, like we said, and this is a song called "Submitted."
Cares and what's been left in mind. Cares at all. Respectful
Anything we need to add around that one?
Yeah, this was Ann is playing drums, and Bob is actually playing guitar on this. And I think you did vocals on this, didn't you?
I don't think so. I think I did vocals on the other one.
Okay.
That we had the gang vocals with everybody, but yeah, no.
Oh, the one where Chris Ward screamed like D. Snyder? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why is that still not your ringtone?
Because I don't know how to make a ringtone. This would be the three of us plus Ann. This is off the last album.
And like one of like a couple of guitar tracks Jeremy's also playing too, but yeah.
That should be the name of the next record, I tell you right there. Chris Ward screaming like D. Schneider.
Yeah.
I should just send you that.
Yeah.
I can isolate that track.
All right. Yeah, we'll put it on the intro.
Yeah, have Chris like scream "Welcome to Rock Paper Podcast" or something like that.
I'm sure he would do it.
Right.
Oh yeah.
He's actually one of my favorites. Still, I've done like 640 something of these, and I still think about his because we recorded his in a Taco Bell.
Sounds right.
And
Sounds right.
At the time, they had this bacon chalupa thing going on, and he was the whole time he's eating this bacon chalupa like right next to the microphone. And they also had these the Cinnabon.
The Cinnatwists?
They're like donut balls.
Oh
things.
yeah, I remember those.
Well, by the time they have those, I think they still maybe had Cinnabon ones or whatever. For a long while they had them, but whatever. By the time they had these like Captain Crunch ones, they were like
Jesus.
And they had like Captain Crunch dust on them or something.
Yeah. I stopped by and got one of those because I had to know like is it actually good or not?
Right. So yeah, well,
I'm feeling a stomach ache from 3 years ago.
It was strongly mediocre.
But we got a play-by-play review from Chris on that episode while eating that stuff. So it was a fun one for sure.
Yeah, that well, I mean, Chris is that when we did Loser, which you were a contestant on the first one, I believe.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I met everyone really that I've been in bands with. That's how I met Bob. That's how I met Jason Robinson. That's how I met Langan. Like, yeah, it's weird to attribute, all the music I'm doing now back to that ridiculousness. But yeah, that's how I met everyone that I'm playing music with now, was that dumb show.
But it worked out, man. That was fun. And then I say it a lot on this show too. Like doing this is like introduced me to so many people that I would never have met otherwise. It's a great networking tool. But people that I met, a year ago are some of my best friends today. So it's really great when you meet people that are like-minded individuals that have a lot of the stuff in common, and you just otherwise we would we were on opposite sides of the town. We wouldn't have never met until we decided, hey, let's hang out and record a podcast. So
yeah, I mean, I think that goes back a little bit to what we all were talking about, like with incestuousness with bands. It's like when you get kind of around creative people, it's kind of like, well, I don't know, do you have 5 hours? Oh, you do? Cool. Do you want to come over? Like even that last album that we did, it was just kind of like, hey, you want to play this piano part? You want to do this background vocal? And like people are generally like, yeah, if I'm free, I'll do it. Like,
it was cool because I remember when I did the recording, I think that was New Year's Day. And it was fun to just be like, I came in not knowing any of the songs. You're like, here's this, and I'm like, oh, okay, and then I came up with something.
Yeah, and that's I mean, largely, at least to my mind, for at least the recordings I do down here that are like, I have, for lack of a better term, final cut on. Like, I just kind of like to be like, yeah, whatever you think is right. Like, because I mean, I feel like if I knew the part I wanted on it, I would just play it. I mean, probably not on drums, but like on anything else, so yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of the fun thing, knowing creative people, is like being able to go like, I don't know, how do you think this should sound?
Sure. Well, and I think that's part of the fun of making records too, is always calling on your friends to do that, to lend some advice or play on it or whatever it is and stuff. Like, I know a lot of people that they just have special guest appearances on the records of people doing guitar solos or whatever it is, and they may never be able to do it live, but it sounds great on the record. And when you say, hey, we had somebody come in and do that part, and
yeah, I mean, it was uncredited, but I played the guitar part on Beat It.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a good one.
Good solo.
Thanks, man. Or that was Eddie Van Halen uncredited. Either way.
Same difference.
Same thing.
Whatever, it's fine.
I tap occasionally.
Eddie, we can just say this one's you. It's just cool.
Yeah, man. Whatever, man.
We need one of those, the more you know.
Like,
I'm trying to remember if I've seen you tap on a solo.
I do it in 2 Shark Dad songs.
I gotta pay more attention. I just know that I tapped during the last one.
That's the point of this podcast, is I need to pay more attention.
Yeah, right? I'm just in my own little world for Shark Dad.
Yeah, the 2 crazy guitar solos.
Okay, yeah.
I end up tapping, because I just run out of things to bend, so I just start tapping.
That's how you do it, right?
That literally is how I do this.
Well, we mentioned November 16th at Off-Broadway single release party. Is there anything else to expect for this evening? I mean, besides live music from you guys? I mean, we... I don't have anything planned. Yeah.
I suppose we could all dress up like Kiss. I don't know that it would really fit, but we can do it.
I think what you can count on is some extreme violence.
Yeah. There we go. That's what I was going for.
We're all very violent people.
Yeah.
You ever been in a fight, Bob?
Not since like high school.
Okay, you ever been in a fight, Michaela?
No. I almost got in a fight once, and then one of my really good friends at the time is like 6.5 feet tall and like 250 pounds, very big guy.
Mm-hmm.
And like the other person was all like swaggering up on the outside the high school, because it's high school, of course it is, and like acting like they're gonna fight me. And then my giant friend like goes, "Hey Michaela, what's going on?" And they were like, "Oh, I'll see you later."
That's
the closest I've ever been.
I've never been in a fight either, but that just reminded me of a story. So I had this friend Eric I went to high school with, and then we met up like where he was going to college, and we went out, and at that point Eric was doing a bunch of steroids, and so he's like, "Hey man, I want to get in a fight." And I go, "Okay, but like not with me, right?" And he goes, "No, but like, you're really good at being annoying. You like start some shit and then I'll jump in."
Holy shit.
And so we went to this bar. This was in Ada, Ohio, at Ohio Northern. And we walked into this bar, and I saw this guy, and he had a just insanely stupid hat on.
You deserve to be beaten up for this.
Well, I mean, again, when you've technically been contracted, you look for the easiest. It's like any other job. You're like, well, what's the easiest way I can get my job done tonight? So I walk up to this guy, and I tap him on the shoulder, and I go, "Hey, man." And he looks at me, and I go, "That hat?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I go, "It looks fucking ridiculous." And he's like, "What the fuck?" And I go, "Your hat looks super stupid, dude." He's like, "Why are you being a dick?" And I'm like, "Why are you wearing that fucking hat?" And like, I just kept falling around, and he goes, "That's fucking it." And he like threw his beer down, and as soon as he did, Eric, who I'm guessing is about Shane's height. Like, how tall are you?
6'4".
Yeah, about that. And like completely roided out at this point. Walks in between us and he goes, "Is there a problem?" And he goes, "I don't even know what. No, not with you. That fucking guy." And I'm just standing behind him, grinning like an idiot. And he goes, "Well, to get to him, you gotta get through me." And the guy goes, "What?" "Fine." And he walks away. And then Eric looks at me. He goes, "Yeah, but like, I really do want to get in the fight. Keep this shit up." So like, I followed this guy around. This is like a college bar, so he's like trying to hit on women. And like, every time I walked up to this guy, like I would just like, anytime I saw him talking, like, because I found my spots. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna like just stand behind him and go, "Stupid hat, stupid hat." Like, I waited like for my moments, and the second I did it, I'd be like, "Are you talking to this guy? Do you see that fucking hat? Like, why would you talk to a guy with that hat?" And like, there were like 2 or 3 times where he was like, "Man, fuck you!" And he would like try, and then Eric would just appear. And I just remember at one point the guy goes, "I don't want to fight you, man, but I want to kick that guy's ass." And Eric would just go, "If you want to get to him, you gotta get through me." And the guy finally goes, "Man, fuck this." And he just walked out of the bar with his stupid ass hat.
So today's history of Jeremy's a dick.
Hey, Jeremy I can turn it on if I need to. That's been the one thing with stand-up comedy is I've learned how to harness that power. It's kind of like the Force. Like back when I was in college, I had the power, but I didn't really know what to do with it.
You walked into this, so I have to.
Yeah.
The obvious question is, but can you turn it off?
Yes.
This is a real stand-up.
Old-timey Catskills music.
Sorry for hijacking your show.
This is our podcast now?
Yeah.
Shane, it's been so great having you on.
Yeah, thanks for coming out.
Thanks for coming.
If you just want to leave the microphone, we'll finish up and
Just lock the door on your way out.
yeah.
Yeah, man. So that's the story behind Sidewhip, huh?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's about a guy with a stupid fucking hat.
What are you sputtering, man?
Yeah, if you look at the if you Google Sidewhip, it comes up with a picture of a hat.
Well, it's a guy with a stupid hat.
Yeah. Jimmy Sidewhip.
It's a really stupid hat.
Yeah, Jimmy Sidewhip wearing his ridiculous hat.
I want all of your listeners to write in with what they picture the hat being.
Right.
Because I want to know what everybody else thinks.
I just imagined one of those propeller hats, like this.
Yeah, it is.
He gets mad and starts spinning.
Yes, I was actually lashing out at my youth and chasing a Disney character around this bar. Well, the great thing about Ada, Ohio was this is the only bar in town. Right. So, when he left, it wasn't like he was going somewhere else. That was fucking it.
I'm going home. I just... not to change the story about that guy's hat.
That's right, that was the end of it. And I appreciate you letting me tell it. I've never told it publicly.
To end the story, though.
But speaking of when I Sidewhip again, though, I did notice the artwork, though. I thought that was cool.
Yes.
You guys have the some artwork to go along with the single, and I thought that was...
Yeah, that's my friend Maxine Duplanter Art. I've known her really through the internet, for lack of a better term, for years, and she's just a really talented artist. So I actually first asked her to do the album cover for the album that's coming out in January, and that was a completely original piece, and it's just really,
it's awesome. I love it.
It's really excellent. And so then when we decided to do the single, I was kind of like, oh, well, I'd like to keep the art consistent, and she just had this piece up that was for sale, and I was like, oh, can we buy that and put some lettering on it? And she was like, absolutely. So she's local. She lives in Maplewood. You can find her on Etsy. She has a lot of she also does portraits, not just more unique art. She'll do a family, whatever. So yeah, more than the single or me harassing a guy with a hat. Yeah, I think please check Max out. She's really, really great.
It was really cool too. It was that single artwork. I just kind of assumed was somebody did on computer and all that. It was a tiny painting you could make the OK sign with and almost fit that in there that he has upstairs. So I guess that's just a zoomed in photograph of that.
Yeah, I don't really, because I didn't realize when she put it online how small it was. I was like, oh, this looks like great album art, and I knew she had hand painted it. And if you look at it, you can actually kind of see some of the brush strokes and stuff. Yeah. And I didn't realize
and you can see the canvas.
Yeah, it's because it's that zoomed in. The thing is so tiny. It's maybe the size of the diameter of a 50-cent piece. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's super small. So she's, I just think she's a really incredible artist. So that was very, very nice of her.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, check that out. I guess that's now on the Facebook, right? You guys.
It's on the.
I think it's your.
It is on the Facebook,
picture.
and yeah, her. If you can find a bunch of her stuff on Instagram as she's on there as Maxine13. So you can check that out. Yeah, totally.
Nice. Yeah. Again, get plugged in with Let's Not on Facebook, and you can. You said the old record is currently on the Bandcamp page.
Old record is on the Bandcamp, and orders for the new single is on the Bandcamp. I have not put the new record up yet, and the new single is 4 songs. It's Sidewhip. It's Another original, it's an acoustic version of Sidewhip, and then it's a cover of Twisted by Keith Sweat.
Which is tremendous.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to have a lot of guest vocalists on that. Maybe not as many as Michaela thought originally.
How many did I think?
We were talking like 16.
Were we?
Yeah, we were. And
How drunk was I that night? All I
that was the
remember
night we
was
did
like
shots.
3.
That was the night we did shots.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah, that
yeah,
was.
I'm
there
a
was
huge lightweight.
There was talk of like, let's just have every woman you know who can sing in St. Louis sing on this.
Yeah, I remember now.
And I just
That still would be fun. We
We
should
got
do that
14 out of 16. We cannot release it until we get like that.
yeah. Well, no,
Yeah,
that was.
you were talking about doing it like Bohemian Rhapsody style
Yeah.
with the layered vocals and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
But it's
That's a lot of work.
That's a well, it's a lot of work, but be a logistical nightmare to try to
Well,
get everyone
logistics
down here.
is work.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah. So, but I think everyone in the defeated county is going to sing on that, and Michaela and your wife we talked about is going
Yeah,
to sing on
you
that.
should totally make Liz do it.
I will make Liz do it. Well, I mean, you'll make Liz do it. I have zero
At the
power
very
over
least,
Liz.
make her like play the French.
You think I
melody
have
of French.
power over her?
It's fair.
She does what she wants. She's a strong, independent woman.
And Shannon Lucas is going to sing on it as well. So.
I just imagined 16 people singing on it. I was like, it'd be like your version of "We Are the World," you know, like but it's
Yeah,
Keith
I
Sweat.
mean, there is a time when we heed a certain call, and that call is Keith Sweat.
Right.
Did you go to his show the other weekend?
When he was here.
Yeah, like maybe he's coming up here soon, but yeah.
Ooh, we
Like
need to
at
look
Shave
this,
It's,
like
yeah.
not online, but we not while we're
Yeah, I
recording,
think-
but we need to look this up because if he's I mean I've been out of town a lot, but yeah, if I'm in town,
It
yeah,
might have
I think
happened.
with, I think it is coming up with Blackstreet. I think.
yeah.
No diggity, man.
Yeah.
Do you know the fun fact about Blackstreet is one of the members and the producer was also in Rex and Effects.
Then
I did not know that.
Yes, he's referred to in the intro to New Diggity. It's Teddy Riley, and they refer to Teddy, the original Rump Shaker.
There you go.
So next time you hear that song, now you know what that means.
All right.
Now I want to cover that song.
Oh no.
Are we just gonna do like a cover album?
I would like to do an R&B cover album.
Let's
Yes.
not does jock jam.
Is Rump Shaker a jock jam?
No, I feel like that's jock jam adjacent. Maybe.
Okay, that's
Well, it's
fair.
like the same like era of like seeing those like compilations being advertised.
The fun thing about that song, you can cover it without having a woman in a bikini playing a saxophone. That's not
Yeah, but do you want
fair.
to?
That's a fair point.
I don't think I want to.
It's a fair point.
I really think it's important to be true to the art here.
It's fair. That'd be a fun video to remake.
Yes.
It's a little more extreme, but in the same vein. I also saw that 2 Live Crew is coming to town.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not just a town, but to a strip club.
Yeah, they'll be
But
performing.
where else would they go?
I know.
Speaking of ladies in bikinis,
I made so much money off that album. Like, not the actual release of the album, but I got a copy before it got stickered and taken out of a lot of record stores. I made a lot of money.
I was like, so.
Yeah, selling it. I had it on cassette.
yeah, but yeah, that
And in the U.S.
yeah, FCC shut that one down. Yeah, that'd be interesting though, for sure.
Okay, so we'll add that to the list.
Yeah, Party with Uncle Luke.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna come on out to Off Broadway on the
16th of November.
And here's some brand new Let's Not songs. And again, you got the Defeated County and Mammoth Piano. Is there? Do we have a cover charge for that?
It is a free show.
Free show.
It is a free show.
Jackpot. Well, that's that'll be real nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, come on out. No excuse. Come on out and party.
We're gonna cover Me So Horny by 2 Live Crew.
Yeah, cool. You heard it here first. Exclusive.
We've got just Bob's face. I just want to figure out which verse he's gonna rap.
As long as I'm not doing the hook.
Do you know the verses?
No, I feel like I remember a VH1 special where like the judge who was like got the obscenity trial or because of that got so mad. He was like something, but Mama's gonna be like so fussy when you see your cherry busted or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
Mama's gonna be so disgusted when she sees your cherry busted.
Why would your mom be like looking for that anyway?
Thank you, folks. That's the best line we're gonna get.
All right, thanks everybody.
Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast.
Rock Paper Podcast.
Well, yeah, that was it.